Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 11, Episode 3, overall 553 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and they've been a partner of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show since September of 2022. I hope everybody is doing well on this. I can't believe it's already Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. It's just another 4 more days until my 53rd birthday, which is on Sunday, June 29th. And I'm looking forward to my guest tonight. She's a friend of mine, a friend of the show. This is her second appearance on our show. She originally came on in November, and her name is Mezzy D. She's a vibrant Haitian American comedian and former radio personality, born in Queens and raised in Long Island, New York. And she's considered New York's funniest comedian. And we're going to bring on Mezzy D right now. Good evening. How are you? I hope that was a good opening.
Yeah, I was like,
that was okay?
I didn't know I was considered New York's funniest comedian, but now I know. Thank you. That's a huge honor.
You're going to have to market that T-shirt. I saw your merchandise on your website. Now you're going to have to put that down as New York's funniest comedian, as per Chris Palme.
Yes, I will definitely make sure. I will make sure to write that for sure.
It's always a good thing to make your guests laugh.
Yes.
I try to anyways.
Well, I always like to smile. That's my biggest thing. I always lead my life with a smile. I feel like that's my motto of life. You have to choose your happy.
I saw on your Instagram page today, it was your daughter's birthday today as well.
Oh my God. That's hilarious because someone reposted it and they were like, oh my God, it's Mezzy's daughter's birthday. I was like, I've never had a kid in my life. It's my goddaughter. But I love her like she's my own.
Okay. I'm bad.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
No, it's my fault because
that
the day
great.
before. No, but you know what it is? The day before she had graduated, and I wrote, "Oh, I love my goddaughter." So I was like, "Oh, I don't need to write it again because I just wrote it." And so I was just like, "Oh, like happy birthday, I love her." And then people were like, "Oh my God, your daughter." I was like, I haven't had. Didn't you would have seen the baby bump? No, okay, no, not yet. Hopefully, God has his plan, so I leave it in God's hands on that one.
Did your goddaughter have a good birthday?
She did. She ended up going to Splish Splash. She wanted me to go. I was like, on a Wednesday, it's 90 degrees. I have no air conditioning in my car. Yeah, no, not doing it. So she had a good time. I was at work,
Right now, when I look to date somebody, the first thing I ask is, do you have a swimming pool and do you have air conditioning or central air?
100%. I 100% agree with you because I like literally could not. Oh God, I could not do it. It's too much. So I understand.
I have a viewer on right now, and she's been a guest of mine as well. And she's a comedian out of New York as well, in the Bronx area. Her name is Goldie Goddess Speaking in Tongues. I don't know if you've ever worked with her or heard of her, but she is watching our show tonight. She's quite funny.
Oh, so she does comedy as well?
Yes, she's a stand-up comedian out of the Bronx.
I love that, Goldie. Oh my God, please make sure to follow me. Let's follow each other. Follow me, I guess, on Facebook. What is she, on Facebook? Yeah. Follow
She's
me at
on
Mezzy
she's on
Sarah.
Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and she's quite a very good comedian too. I had her on my show, Goldie, about 2.5 months ago.
Oh, well, I love that. Goldie, let's definitely connect. I would love that. I love connecting with new comedians. Like I think that's one of the best parts of comedy is the comedy family that you build. So let's connect. If Goldie, if you're still on,
Yep, yep,
let's be friends.
absolutely. And I love connecting people, and I've had people connect me through this show as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally that. I think like when especially in comedy, but like in all aspects of entertainment, like it's not, it's not what you know, it's who you know, really.
It truly is. It truly is, and it's helped me get a few media opportunities because I knew somebody who knew somebody, and they knew me. So it really does help.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That sometimes you're like, you're not even ready for it, but then the opportunity happens. You're like, I guess I'm
Yeah.
ready now. So,
So how are you doing, and how is the world of comedy treating you these days?
I'm doing well. That's so funny because when you reached out, I was like, oh, usually, and I feel like in the back of everyone's, you're always like, oh, well, she must be coming on to promote something cool. No, we're just kicking it today. No, but the world of comedy I'm in an interesting space because like I'm in that where I can like I want to do more shows and actually you just reminded me, someone just asked me to do a show this morning and I didn't DM them back. This is where my brain is. You see that's why it took me 2 days to get back to you. Like that's where my brain is. You don't understand. You just said that. I'm like, oh my god, I did not text that guy back, and I almost want to do that right now because I'm gonna forget when I get off the thing. It's fine. I'm gonna write that down on I literally have sticky notes. I live my life in sticky notes.
I still use a calendar. You know, the old school calendar. I have it on my wall in my room, and I write everything down on that calendar. Oh, you're like me too. Great
I'm
minds think alike.
obsessed.
And
Yes.
I have to write stuff down because there's sometimes when I talk to my guests, there's things I want to bring up, and if I don't write it down on a piece of paper, I generally forget.
Right. No, I trust me. I know. Like I'm juggling a million things. Like I was about to leave, and then I'm like, you know what? I'll just stay so I can, make it for the show.
Well,
So
thank
it's
you
just
so
been
much.
insane.
I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
you
of
did a
course.
I saw you did a show last week on June 18th at the U.S. Banks. How did that go?
You said I did a show. Give me a second. I have to look back on what day that was because I did three
Last
shows.
Wednesday.
Oh, last Wednesday. Oh,
Last
you
Wednesday.
said the Banks? No, that was the U.S.
Yes.
Brews. It was the U.S.
U.S.
Brews.
U.S. Brew. I don't know why I said Banks Brews.
I was like, I did a show at a bank. How did I forget that? I was like, I should have wrote that down. Like, really, I'm usually not that bad, but I'm like, when did I do a show at the bank? Makes sense.
We
I'm a
all make
crazy
mistakes.
person.
We all make mistakes, including myself.
Okay, no, it's fine. Um, yeah, no, I did U.S. Brews. I actually did last week. I did some shows out in Suffolk, Suffolk County. For the people that don't know, so Long Island is split into two different counties. It's Nassau, which is more west, which is closer to the city, and then you have Suffolk, which is like by Suffolk, and then the further out you go, you hit the Hamptons. And so because I started off as a Long Island comedian. I do tend to get booked in Long Island, which is great, but it's tough because it's like you see a lot of these city comedians and they're doing a lot of city shows and growing like when you start as a Long Island comedian, it's 100 like I've talked about this to a million people. It is like I don't want to say a 180, but it is a big difference because in Long Island you do one show, you're like I killed that show, that's great. I did great tonight. I can go to bed, rest easy. In the city, you go out there, you do one show, you kill the show. They're like, okay, so now go to another show. And then do a show after that. So, you do it like in the city, if you don't do like 2 or 3 shows at night, like did you really do anything? That's how they are out there. They're very I love my city comedians. Like shout out to them because like they give me so much inspiration. I just like, oh, I gotta like yeah. So there's
How
that.
many? How many on on average? How many shows on average a week do you do approximately? And what makes the New York area such a great area for comedy?
Well, I would say like sometimes like this week I had no shows, but I always seem to pick up at least one. So on the lowest spectrum, I'll have one. On the most, I think the most I'll have is like four in a week.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I get it back to back to back, oh, those listen, I love comedy, but I'm a physical comedian. I'm very like energetic and all that. So those like, oh, they take me out. They take me out because it's like I have to be on for each show. So sometimes it gets a little tough. But usually those are like the best shows I do because I'm like overthinking it and then I get overly prepared, and so it works out that way.
For comedy.
Yeah, and oh yes, your question about why is New York? Well, so I feel like with New York is a place for opportunity. That's just like bare none, right? That's bar none. But the reason why it's such, I can't speak on like a lot of other states because I haven't gotten to go to them just yet. But with New York, we have 1,000 comedy clubs. And then if you're not in a space where you're doing comedy clubs, we have 1,000 producers that are always doing shows. You know, like I just said, like I was just driving today and I'm like, man, I have no shows this week. And I just got hit up by a random person at their show like 2 months ago or whatever. And so like in New York, it's like every show you do as a New Yorker is an audition for another show. Either another show, a producer, you write like somebody in the audience, whatever. But I personally think of it, and so that's why maybe I put some more pressure on it. But I think of every show as as me trying out for something. And there's been so many shows that I get booked off of because I just did a great show. Like, so New York is such a place, it's a mover and shaker place. Like, people are so hungry. People move up here with $0 and they're like, I'm going to make this work. And it's beautiful. Like, honestly, and I also give it to the people that come from out of state and they're like, I'm going to do this. I'm killing it. It's going to be great, whatever. And they do, like they come out here and they work that, it's tough for me too, because I work out all the way on Suffolk and I want to go more in the city. And it's like an hour, 20 minutes or something like that. And it's just like, oh God. By the time you get there, you're pooped. It's the end of your day. You just drove an hour and 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go there and be on. I'm trying. I'm really trying. It's a tough balance, definitely. But I would not want to be anywhere else but New York because it's so inspirational. Because you have people on all tiers, people that just started, people that are in the middle, like intermediary, and you have the experts. And I've done shows with like, people that have been in the game 30 years. I've done Def Jam. I've opened for people that have been in movies. Like, it's been a cool ride. I definitely need to accomplish more. That's where I'm at with it. I think I need to accomplish like more tangible, like real. And I think, that's the thing about comedy. It's like there's no like linear line of like, okay, you're in 5 years, you then have to do this. Then by 10 years, if you don't do this, you're a failure. It's nothing, there's no timeline. So you're just kind of like, okay, I guess like I want to do more for myself. Like it's about what you want for yourself. And I think that's one of the toughest things about it, really.
I was at a comedy club a couple weeks ago, actually back in May, Second City in Toronto, where the late John Candy and a lot of great performers in Toronto performed. Mike Myers, I missed him by a couple days, and Mary Kennedy is somebody you should follow. She's really good as well. And to me, comedy is kind of like a therapy. It's like you just go in there, you have a you have a good time, you have good laughs, and all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, you kind of forget about for a couple hours.
100%. I 100% agree with that. They do always tend to say that comics were like the most we're the most tortured, we're the most tormented because we actually, I'm gonna flip this really quick, because we turn our pain into laughs for people.
You're
So that
you're yeah, you're a
so
former you're a cheaper form of being a shrink.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like we're a shrink, but we're also a shrink for ourselves, because we're going on and we're talking about whatever, like there's been so many things that I've been so, I've been like, oh my God, this is like killing me. It's depressing. I don't even want to I'm not gonna, because I'm not a content creator. So I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna make content behind it. But like I've seen that I go on stage and I'll talk about it and I feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder, and I'm able to laugh about it and talk about it and then relate with people about it because they're like, oh my God, that happened to me too. And I'm like, what? Yeah. So it definitely is one of those things for myself that I'm just like, I know I like, and I know that like what I have, like who I am on stage is authentically who I am off stage. I think some people suffer with that. They're like, I don't know who I am. Like, I know that. I know that when people leave my shows that I'm in, they're like, that girl connected with me in some way. I always want you to leave being like, that's my friend. We're friends. Except for like, obviously weird people. I'm like, we're not friends at all. But other than that, I always try to like hopefully have people feel good when they leave any show that I'm a part of.
Mezzy, how long have you been doing stand up comedy for? How long have you been doing stand up comedy right now? And how much would you say you've improved since you first started?
So on paper, 8 years. I've been doing it for eight
Congrats.
years. Thank you. It's actually about to be 9 years. So on paper, 9 years, but it's been tumultuous. It's weird. I started, while I was in radio, and radio was my first love in entertainment. So I took that really seriously. And because I was on radio, I used to get booked. I would get paid shows, like really cool. Nothing crazy. So I never took it too seriously. My first 4 years, I feel like I was just like focused on radio. I was like, if I want to also do comedy, I'm pretty good at it. I'll keep doing that, right? So that's how I did my first 4 years and just kind of rolled into that. Then the pandemic came. Yeah, I think that was 2020. Yeah, right. Like so, then the pandemic came, and then I just didn't do any. I didn't do any comedy that whole year. I did 1 1 hour show for a. I did a Zoom show because I was strictly against Zoom, but I did a Zoom show for a holiday party. I get booked for the weirdest thing. I'm like one of those comedians that like you can book me for any. I'm just about good for anything. I've just did a nursing home. Like anyway, so I did that. That was my only show for the whole year, and I was like, man, I miss that. I miss it so much. So 2021, I kind of got slow back getting into it. So in the last 3 years, I would say like I've been like, okay, let me take this seriously. I did a theater show last year for my birthday, and we almost sold out. I did price my tickets heavily, and people were kind of like, why? But that's because I take value in myself, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm not mad that I did it. I'm really grateful for it. I sold out half that, like probably a little more than half the theater by myself. Like I had people help me, but a good amount of it was just me getting people in there, and I'm proud of myself for that. So I it's funny because when I was doing the theater show, I've been telling everybody I was doing it for 8 years, but the more I talk about it to people and I talk about it to the OGs in comedy, I've really been doing it for 3. Like I've really been like, okay, this is like really what I want to do. I want to be in comedy in some capacity. So it's really been like 3 years of me being like, I'm doing shows, at least a couple shows a week or one show a week or whatever. It's been definitely the last 3 years. Yeah.
And you do some MCN work as well, right? MC work.
I I do. I host like I used to work with a company and I would host weddings and all that. Now I still do independently. Yeah, I just hosted a baby shower. Like I love hosting. I do. It's so great because it's like so much more freeing because you don't have to worry about your jokes, but you can still weave in the jokes. You can still make people feel great. I love making people feel great. I don't know why. I gotta work on being a people pleaser because it's weird. But yeah, no, I actually, yeah, funny enough, my best friend, the same best friend that got me into comedy, like, that's why you have to have good friends, really. I'll never forget, it was her wedding day, and I was her maid of honor, and we are getting ready for the wedding, and she's like, oh, by the way, you're hosting my wedding. I was like, what? I'm sorry, what? What do you mean, host? What do you mean? I don't know what that means. But I'd never hosted a wedding in my life. And she was like, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Sorry. They wanted to bring in an MC, and I was like, no, my best friend can do it. And I was like, what? Who talks like that? And I had a great time. Great time. So much fun. I had a speech, did a great speech. Oh my God, that speech was from the heart. My God. On top of the fact that I was drinking, I was having a ball. It was great. But yeah, no, for me, I think, yeah, like, so emceeing has made me, I think it makes me a better comedian, like emceeing, because I'm able to, like, I get a lot of new jokes sometimes from emceeing. New situations arise, and I'm able to be like, "Oh my God, that's funny," and call that back, kind of thing. Um, yeah, I've definitely taken. Yeah, I don't push it as much because I think because I've had so many. I'm so great. I'm so grateful. Like I love the company I even work for. Like I'm still here now. They're gonna probably kill me, but I love the company I work for. My 9 to 5 is amazing, really. and I've succeeded really well in there. I've succeeded really well when it comes to like doing the weddings and sweet 16s. Now I need to succeed in comedy, and that's what I've been telling myself this like last month. I'm like, now it's time for me. I've made these lanes in my life. You know, I actually also want to be a narrator, but that's a whole nother
Do you do
conversation
any
for another day.
Mezzy, do you ever do any DJing as well?
Like ones and twos, like like that.
Yeah.
Well, on technicalities, I was a DJ because I was on the radio and I had to be like, I had to press buttons and stuff. But I've never had the urge to be behind like a turntable. It's not for me, really. I think I love entertainment and I have to love it. If I don't love it, I'm not going to do it and I'm not going to do it well. Like, I'm not going to take the time to like, oh, let me learn this. Oh, let me make sure I get these. Like, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to care. I hate nightclubs. I hate the thought of having to do night parties, like start at 11 and end at 3 in the morning and then still pack up. That makes me want to vomit. Okay. Even when I was 21, I was still not the type of person to be like, oh, I want to be out all night. Like, no.
Since you have a full-time 9 to 5 job, how important is work-life balance?
Oh my God, it's so important. It's so important. I think that I put myself in a space where I've really went really super hard with making sure that I'm good at work. That I didn't put in life balance, you know. I gave so much of myself working here and I still give a lot of myself, but I'm like learning the balance that by Friday when I'm off, I'm just pooped. I'm done. Like I can't do any there's days where if I don't have a show, I stay on my couch the whole day, which it to most people, right? They're like, well, I mean, you earn it, right? You deserve it. But like when you have a goal, when you have certain things that you need to get done, I think like life is better served when you do that later on in life. You know, like I can sleep later. I can sleep when I'm older. I can sleep when I accomplish these things, but I need to. And so that's where my head is. Like that's where my mindset is shifting to, I should say.
Have you ever experienced burnout, or have you seen comedians burn out?
I haven't personally seen any comedians burn out because I think with comedians we always put our best face forward. It's a part of our nature. Um, but I have had some good relationships with comedians, and for I know that we talk about. I've definitely experienced burnout, for sure, because I remember one week I worked my regular 5 days a week, and then I had a show that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I worked Sunday through Thursday, so I had to work that morning and then go to the show after. And by the end of that weekend, I was done. But like, I'm also the type of person like after that, I kind of like I took a week off, and then I think after that maybe I had a show 2 weeks later or whatever. But I was like, nah. Like I don't like I love comedy. I love whatever I do, I love, but I can't overdo it. That's not my nature. I'm not somebody who could be like, oh my God, I have to hyper focus. And if I have to get everything meticulous, it's going to make me hate it. And I don't want to hate comedy because like, I love it. And it loves me back most of the times it loves me back.
Mezzy, for those
Most.
people, Mezzy, for those people that are watching this live stream or on audio, and they're looking to get into the comedy industry, what advice would you give to them from your experience?
Do it. Just do it. I think I've talked to so many comedians and they talk about their story. And it's usually that someone in their life was like, "Oh my God, you know what? You always talk about how you're so funny and you are so funny. Just go and do the show." And then for some reason something happens and then they end up doing the show and they end up feeling they do such a great job and they're like, "Oh my God, this was amazing. I can't wait to go back." And I think a lot of the times it's like we get stuck in our own head of like, "Oh man, I don't know if I could just go to an open mic." Those are the best. If you're like just starting out, go to the open mic. Those comedians are so welcoming. Usually, I can't speak on all open mics because I haven't been to all of them, but those are great. Those are great spaces to write and learn and talk and understand the community. Because I think when we talk about comedy, a lot of people don't talk about the community that you get. Like, I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm extremely grateful for the people that I've met through comedy, because they are like sometimes what lifts me up when I'm like not feeling funny, or I'm not feeling like I'm accomplishing anything. And then I'll go to a show and they're like, "Oh my God, girl, you've been doing so great." And I'm like, "Really? What are you looking at? Are you looking at the same thing I am? Because I don't see it." But you know, so that's one of the reasons I love my city comedians. They're amazing. I gotta say, I I've gotten to a point where I'm on a show and I'm more excited to see the comedians on the show. Like, you know, I'm excited to do the show, but I'm excited for the experience because I know everyone on the lineup. So I'll be like, "Oh, good. This is going to be a great show." And I'm sitting back and I'm like, "Yep, I'm going to have a great night. This is going to be fun. We talk after and we'll connect and whatever." And it's just, and you'll see these comedians, like, you know, I had one of my comedian fams, he just had a special on Tubi. Amazing, right? You're like, "Oh my God." Like, he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a big deal." And he's like, "Dog, I am still trying to figure it out." Like, it's just, you know what I mean? You have these real conversations. You're like, "Oh my God," right? Like, we're all just trying to figure it out. So I'm very grateful for the people that I've met along this way. And so I say that to go back to the original question of like, yes, if you are thinking about it, just do it. I've known people that waited till they're 50 to do it. Why? Why wait? Life is not about waiting. Just freaking do it, because you don't know what's on the other side of that. You might end up being like, "This is the best thing I've ever," you know what I mean? "Oh my God, I got to keep doing this. Oh my God, this feels right." And why delay that? Comedy gives you the best
Mez,
high of life, really.
I've recently had some guests that have got into stand-up comedians, and they are in their 40s, 50s, or even 60. I even had a doctor from Chicago that decided to get into stand-up comedian. She's obviously still a full-time doctor, but she loves it. So even myself, I started this new career in the radio media at the age of 47. So really, if as long as you have a passion, it really doesn't matter when you start, as long as you have
A
that
hundred
passion
percent.
for it. Yes, and I've had guests from different ages and stuff like that too, and everyone I talk to seems to have a passion, especially for the comedy industry they go into.
Oh, and I want to make sure I did not come off ageist. I just want to be clear. I
No
wasn't saying
worries.
that you can't start at any age. Of course you can. But
Yeah,
I'm saying that if you have it in your spirit, in your heart, where you're like, "I think I want to do it," just do it. Don't be like, "Oh, you know what? I'll wait until I'm this age. You know,
yeah,
I'll wait until this happens."
yeah.
Just do it. Just do. You'll have I'm telling you, like, there is an unexplainable high. And there's any comedian that you will talk to after this, I promise you, you'll be like, "Do you get a high after it?" It's an unexplainable high. Like, you can go and conquer the world. That's why I give it to city comedians. If I'm doing 3 shows back to back to back to back and I killed all three, I'm floating home. I'm not gonna even need to drive. I'm floating. Like, I'm not even here. I'm gone. Like, so for me, that's how I am. Like, I just, like, I did show because last week I had 3 shows. Um and one of the shows, I only had literally I had a 2-minute window to talk. So I didn't do any of my content. I just talked to the people, because the best thing I could ever do is at least connect with people so I can have supporters and some people that want to follow me after that. Um I know that the person that hired me, they weren't so happy, but it was like, the timing was only 2 minutes. I'm like, what can I really do in 2 minutes? I'm not going to talk about myself. They want to hear about them. Like a lot of these audiences want to also hear about themselves. And I'm a comedian that does crowd work. I love it. Um, in the beginning of my career, I think I always did material, but I did a lot more crowd work than material. Like, I love talking to people. Um, I'm working on being more like, but I'm still doing my crowd work. I love it. I think it's such a superpower. And anyone who tells you differently, they're just a haters. Like, superpower. Hello.
For those people that have never seen you perform stand-up comedian live, how would you describe yourself?
Ooh, um, energetic. And you know what? I got a little nickname, and I'm thinking about putting it on my Instagram. A couple people have called me the energy goddess on stage. I mean, that is like a compliment. That is a compliment beyond compliments. But yes, I bring a lot of energy. I bring a lot of fun. I bring a lot of smiles. I like to connect with people. Like, the other day, I did a show and the girl was sitting there with her boyfriend, and he's like, "Yeah, I work 3 jobs." I'm like, "Are you working 3 jobs to get her a ring? Because I don't see anything on that ring finger." Boy, let's move it up. All right. And she came to me after. She was like, "Girl, thank you." I'm like, "I am your friend, girl. That's what I'm here for. Like I love that. I love when I get off the stage and they're like, oh my God, thank you. Like I needed that, or I wanted to talk about that, or whatever. And me connecting with you on that, like that for me is, I mean, amazing. The best feeling in the world.
When you do live stand-up comedy, do you get the audience to participate too physically?
I haven't gotten an audience member to, have I done a physical? Okay, yeah, I had to think about that. I'm like, yeah, I've had some, like, I did a show, I did a private party, and this woman looked beautiful. She was gorgeous, and I was like, you gotta come up here. You have to, like, what are you getting? Did you get married today? Oh my God, you look gorgeous. And then we did a twirl together. It was great. If I could get people up, I absolutely would. But you tend not to because you don't know. I have weak wrists. I don't want anybody to like turn on me. I'm not a mean comedian, so I don't talk bad about people. I don't make them feel bad. There should be no reason that they want to beat me up. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I get scary about that. I am from New York. Hello, people get crazy for no reason. Even though I have muscles, it's fine. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, I think, yeah, for the most part.
I didn't ask you this the last time you came on my show, but I wanted to get this in. How important is an outfit, and how do you decide what kind of an outfit you're going to wear to a show?
That is a good question. My God. Well, I know for myself, I always want to dress. I always love dressing pretty. I love dressing pretty. I'm a girl, so I like to dress pretty. I don't. I mean, I wear jeans and stuff. Like I still wear jeans. It depends on the demographic. Like I always base it on the show. Like if I'm gonna be on an all male show, I'm not gonna go there with a dress. Like I don't need to like overly be a girl in that scenario. I just wear pants and I'm gonna call it a day. Um, I tend to not wear dresses because I'm so physical. I'm like straying away from that because I'm literally too physical, like for that. I think one time I did a show and I was like, oh, thank God I was wearing stockings. But the stockings hung low and it was looking like, is that my, oh Lord Jesus, oh my God. So yeah, I gotta definitely work on that. But I think, as comedians, I think it's like we should be approaching this as a job, right? Like you should still go there looking great. I know some comedians that might just wear sweats, and I think when you go there and you're wearing and there's some sweats that are fitted and they're nice and you look good, that's different. I'm talking about people that just throw on whatever, whatever. It it shows. It shows in how you speak. It shows in your material, and it shows who you are. So I'm definitely of the notion of like put your best step forward by always dressing your best because remember in the back of my mind I treat every show as an audition for another show. So what do you're not only gonna take away that, oh my God, she was funny. Oh my God, she's also very, she also she looks very, she puts her clothes together well. She's very well mannered, like that kind of thing. I feel like those things matter. Hopefully, I don't know, but I still try to do that so that if it does matter, I'll get booked again. It's a win-win. You know.
How important is it to have comfortable footwear?
Oh my God, girl! First of all, shout out to all the women comedians that go on stage with heels on. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God
Yes.
bless you. That is not me. I can't do it. I don't even really wear heels like that. I don't want to say that is not me because I like the right show. I will. Like if it's a good like I said, I dress for the demographic. If it's an important show, I'm gonna dress nice. And I'm gonna wear heels. But I don't tend to wear heels. You gotta wear some for me, because I'm a physical comic. So I'm like, I take a good amount of the stage. Like I'm talking to you over here, and then I'll be over there talking to you, and I'm like, oh my God. So it's like I'm walking around the stage constantly. It's very imperative that I have like comfortable footwear because I don't want to like, I'm wearing stilettos. Oh God, and then I crack my ankle. Like no, horrible. So I am always conscious of definitely my outfit and what my shoes are. Always. Definitely.
Mezzy, thoughts on the importance of branding and marketing as a comedian? And tell us a little bit about your merchandise on your website. I have it all up here on this ticker as well.
Yeah, branding. Oh my God, that is so important. It's so tough as being a comedian nowadays. Back in the day, all you had to do was be funny. That's it. That's all you had to do. Be funny and be consistent. Be funny and be consistent. You were gonna go far. Like it. Be funny, consistent. Meet the right people. That's the right package right there. Now you have to be funny, be consistent, meet the right people, post on Instagram, post on socials, be engaging, do this, do that, have a website. It's freaking a lot. And then you also have a 9 to 5. So I'm not the best. I should always say that. Like I'm trying to learn consistency in terms of like posting, right? I'm pretty okay with the posting. I definitely have to do better. Even with my website, right? Like I should be posting up my new my next shows. I haven't gotten even update that yet. I didn't update it on my shows yet because it's so much. You know what I mean?
Time consuming.
It's so time, like every time I turn around, like, especially because my job is kind of demanding because I'm a director. So it's like a lot of the times, like I have to, my staff need me or whatever. So it becomes a lot um, for myself. So I have to figure out, back to that original question, the work-life balance, right? Like, okay, maybe I don't do it on this day, but maybe on my Friday off, that's when I update my website. That's when I do these things. Like I have to figure that out. And I commend any comedian that has it almost on. I don't know if that any of us have it on lock, but I commend any comedian that has it on lock. And when it comes to the shirts, like I got really lucky. I got in touch with, well, this girl actually reached out to me and I thought she was a spam, but she's actually really good. Elizabeth Ott, AWT. She's on my Facebook. She does, and she did my logo and she was very patient. She literally waited until I was like, this is perfect. And that's when I was like, oh, I love it. So I have 2 logos, and I have 2 different kind of shirts. And that's another thing, like, right, when I go to shows, do I bring the shirts? I got to work on that, right? I got to work on the business side of it because I'm going there worrying about my set more than anything. Because my thing to myself is, if I'm not funny, why would you want to buy something from me anyway, right? So I think me working on my funny is the most important thing right now for me. Like I'm dead set working on my funny, and then I have to start, and then I'm still doing a little content here and there, but then the consistency now has to step in where I'm like, okay, now I have to keep updating my website. Okay, I have to keep making sure that I'm pushing my shirts for sale. So just things like that I have to be mindful of. you know.
Have you thought of have you thought about in the future about getting into coaching and teaching comedy?
Oh my God. I didn't think about it. I mean, I'm 8 years in, and technically, I only give myself 3 years of real credit. So, it's not something I wouldn't do. I have a coworker. She actually, she said for her 40th birthday, I don't even know. She was like, I think her 40th. She's like, for my 40th birthday, I want to go on stage, and I was like, you should do it. And so since then, she's come to me and she's asked me about different things, and she's like, what do you think? And what do you think? And I've helped her write some of the jokes and stuff. It's pretty good. To answer your question, I would never say no. I'm always, that's the thing about me. I'm always willing to put some more on my plate. I'm always willing to push a little food over, put more on my plate. Sure. Like absolutely, that opportunity, it like presents itself, and I feel that I'm able to actually give the correct information. I'm able to actually give you things that is going to make you prosper forward. Absolutely, I would do it with no question. But right now, somebody came to me, I'd be like, I mean, I'm still gonna listen. I've been here for 8 years. I have something to give, right? So I would definitely not discredit myself. But I'd be like, why would you come to me? Like, I need to figure out my life. But
Can you tell Can you tell us about the writing aspect of comedy and how important it is to be a good writer?
my God, it's so important. That is, yeah, you did your research. You're like, I'm gonna ask her some really good questions. Love that. No, yeah, writing is great. Writing is so important. So it's tough. Like people have different writing styles. I'm somebody who, like, since the day I started writing jokes, I wrote them in my notes on my phone. I jot them down. I jot down a blurb, and then I kind of expound on it when I get to this, when I'm there. I'm like, oh, I'll expound on it. Now I'm getting a little more meticulous about writing a little bit more because I find that when I physically write out the joke, more things come out of my head. So I'm in a weird space with it. But the bottom line is, like, writing your own jokes, like 100%. You have to. It's like that's so important. Like I told you, I love talking to the crowd, so I do a lot of crowd work. But it's not to say I'm dependent on the crowd work. Like the crowd, like I'll be talking to the crowd about something, they'll bring something up, and I'll have content behind that. I'm not somebody who's so premeditated where I know exactly what they're gonna answer, and then but they'll be like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, I live in Queens, and they're like, oh my God, me too. I'm like, did you get that same rat coming in your house? Like, oh my God, and then I'll be talking about the rat story or something like that. You know what I mean? Like weird things like that. Weird things. I'm very weird. Um, But yeah, like I think that like when you write and there's some comedians that I was just doing a show. I do a podcast in Long Island called the Good Show. Um, and we bring on different comedians. And so one of the comedians, he was like, listen, every single morning I sit with my coffee and a cigarette and I write down everything. I jot down every joke that I could have thought about the night before. I just write it out. It doesn't matter if it's funny or not. I just write it out. And that's his process, right? Like, would that be mine? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That would just be insane because my brain doesn't work like that. My brain is very sporadic. I'll be sleeping in the middle of the night and come up with a joke and then write it. I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. Then I'll wake up like, that wasn't funny at all.
Oops, I think we lost Mezzy there. Guys, hopefully we get Mezzy back. The joys of technology. So
One sec.
just was talking to Mezzy D. Yep, it happens. No worries. We're just talking about the writing aspect of comedy and where she gets some of her inspiration. I think Mezzy's back.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries about that. Gotta ask you this as well. How important is it as a comedian to have very good observational skills?
Oh my God. Well, if you're a crowd working comedian, if you want to get into crowd work, observational skills is everything. Honestly, I think not even just crowd work, you should definitely be observant. I think because think about it, like when you know, when, like, for example, if you're traveling to a place, I remember I did a show upstate and I traveled there and I think I talked to one of the locals and they told me about one of the main foods they ate. And I went there and I tried the food and I was like, ah. So I went on stage and I talked about it. You know what I mean? Like it's like being observant also adds to your comedy set, right? Like you're going up there now. I'm able to connect with these people on the fact that I'm from New York City. You guys are from upstate New York, and I tried this food that you guys somehow thought was delicious and told people about, which is horrible, but it's another story for another day, right? But it's just like the observational skills. That is what creates comedy. That's what creates jokes. You have to be observant to be a comedian. That's in my opinion. I don't because if you're not observant, that means you're only pulling from your life, and that can only go but so far. Because people are not totally invested in you all the way, right? Like you're not, Dave Chappelle or right, like or these other people, right? Like so, what would make them be like, oh yeah, like let me just only listen about your life? Like, nah, maybe incorporate other things, other aspects, things you observe, things you see. Those things matter. So yeah.
How, as a comedian, and I know you're just in the New York area right now, but even being in the New York area and different parts of the city, how important is it for homework and doing research on every audience? Because I know every club, nightclub is different, comedy club is different. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
What do you mean? Like doing research on who the
Like
crowd's gonna
your
be?
homework, like doing research on the, I know when I talked to some other comedians, they've done different cities, different states, different countries, and they've told me they've had to do homework because every city, every nightclub, comedy club is different. The audience is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, well, I personally, I don't know that I could ever do research on a crowd because the crowd, this could be a white comedy club all the time, and then I'm booked for a show, and now it's black, like, and it's all a black audience, right? So I'm going in there like, oh, I'm going in for a white audience, and then it's black. So I'm always observant. Like, so it goes back to that previous question, being observant. Like if you're gonna go out of the country, you're going out of the state or whatever, you do have to be observant as to what these people like, what they're into, what their whole situation is, that part. But I don't know that I've ever personally thought like, oh, let me do research on what the crowd is because the crowd is you can never guess. You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, for sure it's gonna be all white people, or it's gonna sure be all Spanish people, or it's all sure gonna be young people, or it's gonna be all old people. You just don't know. Because it could just be a day where they're like, oh, let's all just go to a random comedy show. And it's like all 90-year-olds. You just don't know. So the research would come from like knowing where you're going to talk about what's around, talk about what's topical, what's right. And then you could talk about yourself. But when you first start off talking about like, oh, like I came in from New York City and like, there was I forgot because when I was in LA, I talked about something. I forgot now. I can't even remember. But they have this really expensive like smoothie shop that's like, I'm like, where did you source these berries? Like, why is this smoothies? And it wasn't even that good. Like, please, you know what I mean? Like, that was insane. Like, we need to not. Oh, it's called Eau Claire, something like that. Eau Claire, something like that. I don't know. I don't know, but it was like, I'm like, really ridiculous, not necessary. And the people were able to connect with me because they know it was unnecessary. Why is there $20 smoothies on that? Is there crack in that smoothie? I need to know because I don't want the crack, but somebody might, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. So definitely research on the area, but I don't research the crowd. No.
Okay. Now, if you're a comedian and there is a tough crowd, how does one comedian win that audience over? What's some tricks, keys to doing that?
Winning the crowd over. I think when there's a tough crowd, tough crowds are tough. That's just what it is, right? I had I bombed. No, I didn't bomb, but I didn't do good. And I was so sad at myself a couple months ago. It was like a middle-aged black crowd, and they were just like, girl, please. I'm like, what the? But I do think in those regards, like those crowds are tough because they kind of want you to talk to them. I don't know. I'm still testing the theory out, but I think when those crowds are tough, they don't really want to hear about your content. They kind of want to hear what you got off the top of your head. I don't know. That's what I feel. Like, I feel like a lot of the times they kind of want you to be like, oh, and what's going on over here? Oh, ever. Like that, specifically that crowd that I was talking about, that was really tough. I was going in there like, I'm going to do my content. It's going to be great, whatever. And they were just kind of like, girl, no, we want you to, because then the comedian came on after me. He did his content, but he also talked to them. And he also was like, oh, what's going on over here? Oh, and what you doing? Like, that made a big difference. So I realized, like, with tough crowds, a lot of the time they kind of just want you to come and you kind of go in that crowd and be like, oh, what are you doing over there? Okay, Bang Yang, you okay now? I see you over there. You just got your hair done, Sister Pat Pat, for the show. All right, now just came from church and came to a comedy show right after church. That's not normal, but we gonna just let that be okay right now. Oh, so, like, so that's that's what I think. I don't, I'm not 100% certainty, but I definitely feel like those shows demand a different kind of, like, they demand you to switch up. If you are a comedian, I don't care, I'm doing my material regardless, you're at a loss. You are at a loss because there's some people that just don't, and you can still do your content, but you still have to engage with them in some way. That's
Absolutely.
just me.
Mezzy, if you're still good for a few more minutes, I would like to play a 2-minute clip from one of your videos from your YouTube channel, Mezzy D YouTube channel.
God, my YouTube, I got to do better on YouTube.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
a 2-minute video. It's called Talking to Your Auntie. I believe it's, yeah.
Oh, that one was really good, but nobody liked that one. It was fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
I liked it, yes. And everybody, it's Mezzy D's YouTube channel. I've already subscribed and hit like. And Mezzy, just let me know if you can hear the audio okay.
Auntie Junior.
Yeah.
Over there in the front of Auntie. Listen, I'm with the bang. Auntie with the Junior with the bang. No, don't look back, Auntie Junior. I'm talking about you got the bang. That's the bang. Yes, bro. That's the bang. What you doing coming out with the bang? Auntie. I like this. Let me just say, I want to say this stuff. Real talk, for real. Did you guys come from church today? You guys look very good. I knew it, Auntie. With the bang. I knew it, Auntie. Look at that place on Auntie. Look at that place on Auntie. Look at that place on Auntie. Look at that place. Oh, come on, Auntie. Do the walk. Get it, girl. Get it, Auntie. Yeah. That's my Auntie Junior. Come on, Auntie Junior. Come on. Get it, Auntie Junior. Have you been a model in your life? She's 72 years young. Clap it up for Auntie Junior. So Auntie Junior, tell me, how do you meet a man?
Oh, easy.
Hey, I'm about to go. Take out your notepads. Hold up. Somebody write this down for me. Go ahead, Auntie. Auntie, uh-oh. She about to bang. No. Auntie about to bang the man in front. Wait, hold up. Hold up now. I'm studying. Are you moist right now, sir? Are you? Oh my God! Oh Lord! I gotta take pictures. Hold up, Auntie. No. Oh, we're not gonna fight, Auntie Junior. We can't fight over Auntie. Auntie, I don't want you to fight over the man because we don't know if we're gonna keep him or leave him. We don't know.
It's a lap dance. It's all right.
Oh, Auntie's centric. She don't want her wife messing around. But you know what? Okay, wait, hold on. This is crap. I'm in Jerry Springer. Hold on. Auntie can't fight. Nah, Auntie's about to beat the brakes off you out there. I just saved you.
And that was
that
courtesy
was
of your YouTube channel. I'm glad you liked that. I saw it on your YouTube channel, Mezzy D YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and I liked it, so I thought I would air it on here.
Yeah,
Just thoughts on
I'm
that.
gonna be posting way more videos on my YouTube. That's also something I have to do with intention. I will be doing that as well. No, but that was a great. You just reminded me. Yeah, I guess I am somebody who brings people on stage. That's why you asked it.
And
Yeah.
you need to hire a content creator, and that's the thing with me. I'm not just the on-air host. I'm the producer, content creator. I edit video, I promote myself, and when you're in a business, you have to wear a lot of different hats. And social media, as much as they love it, it is time consuming.
Yes, it is. It is. I give it to people. I think a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of comedians, they just quit their job and then they just focus solely on content creating and they do well. They really do well. But I don't have a safety net where I'm like, oh well, let me just quit my job. Like it's just me. Like I'm the only person taking care of myself. So I'm like, I kind of can't do that.
Right now, I'm constantly looking for more sponsorships and getting my name out there. So I've kind of gone into this 100%. But I tell people, if you want to do it, you have to have passion, but you also have to have a mindset. If you don't believe in what you're doing, nobody else will believe in what you're doing.
100%. I 100, and that's where I'm at too. I think I need to just kind of really be serious about what I'm like. I said, like like even just that show, perfect example. Like I was able to get these older women, like these middle-aged women, to come get up out of their seats. I mean, everything I post, I personally enjoy. Like I can never speak on anyone else, but I enjoy the content that I post. I laugh at it. I'll sometimes look back and just laugh at them because it's just I think it's funny. I don't think everything I say is funny, but I definitely think when I post it, I'm like, this is funny. I will only post something that I genuinely thought made me giggle and laugh. You know.
When you perform on the stage, do you prefer to open up, be the middle act, or obviously the closing act? And generally, how long is one of your performances on stage?
If I have a preference, I would like to go on first. At
Really?
first, I was kind of weirded out by it because I'm like, but I'd like it. Let me tell you why. I'm so young in the game, and I like being first because people automatically think the first is not the best. They always think the first is not good. So I go in there as the underdog, right? People are like, oh my God, she's probably not even gonna be good. And I love proving people wrong. That's my favorite, right? I love that. So when there's like and it's also less pressure. Because I go in there, I'm like, oh, they already think I'm gonna be crap. So when I go in there and I kill, they're like, this girl's amazing, right? I start the show off with a boom. And then from there, I mean, you can only get better, I hope. Depends on the producer. But I like going. For a while, it took me a minute to really like going on first, but I like going on first for another reason because I like to go on first, do my set, and then enjoy the rest of the show. When I'm like the middle, when I'm oh god, like I won't say headlining because I'm not in that space yet. But when I end the show, there's been times I've had to end the show. The bubble guts that I get is unreal because you're just like, oh my god, like regardless of what, you're closing the show out, you have to be funny, right? Like that's it. Doesn't matter if your headline, it doesn't matter, you're closing the show out, you have to be funny and you have to be the funniest. That's a tough one for me. I kind of get in my head about it. I definitely closed out shows and did great. I've definitely done shows in the front, in the beginning, and done great. I've done shows in the middle, and but if I have a preference, especially where I am in my life right now, I like going on first. I like it. I think it sets a good tone. I'm able to kind of get the crowd. And also one thing I like about when I go on first, you get most of the crowd. Like it depends, but you do get most of the crowd. By the last person, a lot of people have left. And so you're just like, you're stuck with the remnants of it all. But like, I like going on first. I get to I'll walk in, I always sit in the back to kind of see what the crowd is doing, what they're doing. And then I'm able to talk to them. They're not really drinking just yet or eating just yet. And I'm fine with that. Like, trust me, I'm sober and I'm full of energy. I can give you that. Like, that's fine. So, yeah, first, like right now, I'm definitely in a space where I'm definitely I'm not upset about being first, actually. I think it also puts some people behind me where they're like, oh, I got to step it up. And you freaking better. And my sweet spot right now is 15 minutes. I love it. I love doing 15 minutes. I get enough jokes out. Last year I did an hour. I'm like, a lot of people that have done it for 8 years, they're usually like, oh, well, I could do it for 30 minutes. I can do an hour easily. Like, nope. But that's because I'm literally, my job has, everything I do has been people. Like, I talk about scenarios. I have these situations. I've been writing for 8 years. I have all these, like, I just did a nursing home, and I was going to do a karaoke. I sometimes do karaoke and comedy, but I didn't have the setup for it. So I just did an hour of comedy. That's tough. That was tough because, like, it's PG-13. And like, because I thought I was gonna have the music, I didn't write out as much, so I had to go back on my notes and, like, oh my god, I never do that, but I did, and I wasn't bad about, they ended up calling me back, and they're like, can you come back next month? I'm like, I just gave you an hour of comedy. You think I have another hour? Like, are you? I'm very appreciative of it. I'm very grateful for it, but I was like, girl. But now I'm going back there in August. What am I gonna talk about for an hour? I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. That's the kind of comedian I am. I'm just gonna roll with the punches. We're just gonna figure it out when I get there, But I 15 minutes is like my sweet spot. Like, if you ask me to do 10 minutes, it's like, I'm sweating because I know I'm like, that's gonna be tough. I have to actually, like, if I'm doing 10 minutes or less, I have to, like, write down everything I'm gonna talk about. So I'm like, and I can't do crowd work too much. I have to, like, stick to what I am here to say, out of respect for the producers.
And doing the opening, it's important to have the audience in the palm of your hand, right?
You said the audience?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, like I said, I think the audience automatically expects the first person to not be the best. So when you go there and you're good, anything over good, they're like, my God, we love her. She's amazing. Right? So that's, and I love that. I love that.
For somebody
I,
that's new to the game, would you recommend them starting out as an opening act and then working their way towards closing at the end at some point?
I mean, yeah, the goal should always be to become headliners, right? Like, that
Yeah.
should be the goal. That's the person that gets the most money out of it. The goal should definitely, the goal should always be moving forward. Like, that's just what it is, right? But let's be very clear. That first spot is tough. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it's a very tough spot. I would say if you are new, definitely try to get a guest spot and get that, like, second or third, so you're not having, because that first spot, granted, like I told you, people are like, oh, they're not going to be as funny. It's so tough because you set the precedent for the show. So I wouldn't say, oh, you're a beginner, go on first. I wouldn't say that. I would not say that, because you do not want to go on first and bomb, and then that sets the precedent for the show. I would say go on and do a guest spot, maybe second or third, be in between a couple comedians. That's a good spot for a beginner, for sure. First, tough. First, middle, end. Those are the three spots of my opinion, are the hardest, because but it's less pressure for the first. That's what I think. I'm delusional, so I like to think delusionally. But those are the three spots I think are the hardest, because you have that middle spot. You have to keep it going. You have to bring that energy where it's like you're good, right? Homeostasis, keep that going, and then the end person has to crush and end it, like tear the stage down. So I would say if you're definitely in the beginning of comedy, you should definitely think about doing guest spots. Like, try to ask people to, hey, can I do a guest spot? Whatever. Because usually guest spots are sporadically placed with through the show.
What are some fun facts about Mizzy D? What are some fun facts?
Oh my God, that's interesting. What do I have? What's my fun fact? I spend most of my time with people triple my age, and they're my best friends.
And me too.
What'd you say?
And me too.
Right, yeah, because I'm a recreation director in an assisted living, and
Cool.
and I honestly, they have probably brought me up the most in this world, honestly, which is so crazy to say. What else? What else is a really good fun fact about me? I don't have any kids. That's pretty fun. It's really fun. But I take pride in being a great aunt. I Like I said, that you said, I started radio right in college, but I didn't go to school for radio. I went to school for business, and my cousin met a guy at a networking meeting that worked in Cox Media Group, and I was like, is that porno? And it turned out it wasn't. It ended up being my first job in radio, which was amazing, which goes to show you guys, never say no to any opportunity, because it could be the best thing you've ever said yes to. So I'm always big on saying yes and taking opportunities. What do I have any other? I'm like, am I even a fun person? When people ask me that, it just puts me on the spot. I did a roast, and they're like, "Oh, give us 10 facts about you," and I'm like, I don't have 10 facts about myself. I'm not an interesting person, I don't think.
Favorite music and favorite food.
My favorite music, I love. I came from a pop station, so I do love pop. I love rap. I love pop and rap. That's my thing.
Are you a
Not really big
singer?
in
Can you
R&B as
sing?
much, huh?
Are you a good singer?
I'm a good karaokeer.
I'm
I
not.
love
I'm terrible.
karaoke. What do you
Favorite karaoke? I am not. I tried it once in New York and I emptied out a bar.
say?
Favorite song, karaoke song.
My favorite karaoke song? Oh my god. Wow, that's a tough one. I have a lot of favorite karaoke songs. Right now, my favorite one is Ed Sheeran, "Perfect." Mm, that's my favorite. Or Miley Cyrus, "Flowers." Love that one. That's my that my right now. That's my top. I would say "Flowers." I love Miley Cyrus because I love pop. Just makes you feel good. Like I like things that make you feel good. R&B sometimes makes me a little sad. It makes me it makes me reflect on my life a little too much. It's too deep. I'm like, oh god, I'm feeling too many emotions. So I like pop and I like rap because rap is like grungy and it's like, "Arr!" I'm like, yes, I like that. Yeah, that's my jam.
What do you like most about the summer?
That I don't have to wear a jacket. Love that. Love it. I love that. I hate when it's super hot, but I love when I can just like walk out, no jackets. I hate layers. I love just wearing simple things. I love the energy of the summer. New York summers, the energy is just different. It's just so different. It's amazing. And I just like I love seeing the sunset when you are driving like towards the city and you get to see the city line. Um, I honestly I love everything but the extreme heat. When it's extremely hot, I hate that. But I love what the summer represents. I feel like the summer represents like freedom, like even though we still have to work our 9 to 5s and everything, but carving out those little pockets of time where you're going on vacation or right, like because I'm gonna be going to LA next month. I'm gonna do some shows out there while I'm there too. But yeah, so
Awesome.
it just yeah. So for me, like I love the summer. Like I'm technically a summer baby. My birthday is September 13th, but I'm technically a summer baby. So I love it. I love it. I love the hairstyles. I haven't been, I gotta go to the beach. I haven't been to the beach in oh my god so long. But I like the beach. I don't love it, but I like the beach.
Before we wrap up this show, I wanted to ask this question too, Messy. Do you ever miss the radio industry? And what are your thoughts on the traditional radio industry overall has shrunk?
Well, because of that last question you asked is exactly why I can't say that I miss radio too much. When I got fired in 2020, I kind of was just like, and I never turned my back. I never like uploaded another. I had content that I could have uploaded. I
Yeah.
could have applied for plenty of jobs. I could have went, but I've seen so many people get burned by it, and I've also seen so many people get uplifted by radio. Because
Yeah.
radio, as much as saying radio's been dying since I was in college, and that was like almost 15 years ago. Radio has a weird staple in our lives. It is. But it's real tricky because you know it's really who you know there, and then once you're in there, you're like working to the bone. My God, radio! I give it to all my radio personalities. They work crazy hours, right? You work your on air shift, and then that's never covering the bills. It doesn't matter what anyone says. I don't care what show you're on. That doesn't cover the bills. You need to get sponsorships outside of there. You got to do this. It's a lot. Like did almost get presented. I got presented with an opportunity to possibly do talk radio. And I told him, I'm like, yes, of course. Like the opportunity to do like I got an opportunity to do a podcast. I told you the Gagoot show that I do in Long Island. I love it. I just show up and I'm there and I get to talk and I've been doing radio. I've done radio. I was doing it for like 7 years, so it's in me. I can definitely pick up radio at any time. Will I chase radio? No. I think that because radio has a weird way of showing you, like, girl, I'm
It's a
not the one to be
cutthroat
chased.
business. It's a cutthroat business from what
Yeah,
I've seen.
you get fired and it's just like done.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine in radio that he moved out to Ohio and he was doing great for like 4 or 5 years and then and then he was doing a DoorDash. You know what I mean? Because it's so hard. Once you just move to Ohio, what are you going to go to another Ohio station? It's not that easy.
Tell us a little more about this podcast and where can people find and follow it?
Yeah, it's called The Gagoot Show, and it's you can follow it on my Facebook,
Okay.
Mezzy Sarah, MEZZYSARAH. I have the links there, so you can definitely check it out there. And the podcast, I was just talking to somebody, they're like, "How the hell?" So I do a podcast with an for lack of a better term. It's an old white guy. His name is Benny Gagoots, and his wife Nancy Gagoots. Their last name is really Rizzuti, but they're Gagoots. And they're and like remember I just told you I spend most of my time with people triple my age, so it really doesn't phase me at all. When I got the opportunity, I did a show with them 2 years ago, and then like his wife Nancy reached out. I was like, you know what, Metzline, I really want you to be a co-host. I was like, sure. Like I never, like I said, I never say no to opportunities because you just never know. Most people on paper would be like, that's weird, right? Because he's older, and he's like an older white guy. I'm a young black girl. It's totally different, but why wouldn't that work? I think that's even better because we're so on the opposite spectrum. I enjoy it. Through that show, I've gotten booked on shows. I've gotten booked on. I just did a series, and I might go back. They might cast me back for the series. And I've only been doing the show for like 5 months. I'm very grateful for that. I just did a show with them yesterday, and someone was like, "Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna be doing an upstate show. Would you be interested?" I'm like, "Yes, yes." And like, and shout out to Benny and Nancy. They're like my freaking fairy godparents in comedy because they push me for everything. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Mezzy's great." Especially Nancy. She's like, "Mezzy's great. Do it. Mezzy's great. Oh God." And you gotta stand by those people that rally behind you and are like supporting you because that means more than anything. And I'm very grateful for people like that. I know they're probably, they might not be because they're probably sleeping or something like that. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but if they are, I want to definitely give them their flowers because people like that are what make people like me keep going, like in this comedy. Because sometimes you're just like in your head and they're like, "Are you crazy, Mezzy? You're amazing." And I'm like, "Am I?" So, yeah. So and so like I said, you can definitely check it out. It's the Gagoot Show, and then we have our own Facebook page, and we're on YouTube. It's GAGOOTZ Gagoot Show, and you'll get to see some of the previous episodes before I even came on because they've been doing it for a couple years now. So you get to check it out. But what I love too is that we get comedians, we get playwrights, we get all these people from entertainment, and it's amazing because I get to meet them, and I'm like, and I get to pick their brain. Oh, which is so great. I love that.
It's sort of like the show I have. It's not just sports, it's a full entertainment talk show because I want to prove to the radio industry that I'm not just Mr. Sports Guy. I can interview doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists. I've had female ventriloquists on my show. I've had different walks of life. And how often do you guys record an episode?
So only twice a month. We do every other the second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Okay. And is it a video type like this or is it audio?
Yeah, so it's video. Yep. So
Video.
you can get it on YouTube. You can get it on. I think they have a website, the Gagoot Show. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.com. You can get it on Strong Island TV. We broadcast live from there. Strong Island TV. Shout out to Bobby from Strong Island TV. He's great. He literally does 1,000,001 things. I don't know how the hell. I know why he stays so skinny because he's always running around. So you could also go on strongislandtv.com. You can go on Strong Island TV on Facebook. They have a page. You'll see our Gagoot Show there as well.
If you're ever looking for a guest, I'd be happy to come on in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, we usually have guests come in.
Okay.
So if you're ever in New York, but I will ask. I will totally ask.
Okay,
we can
cool.
do like a virtual situation because we have we have a whole setup. Like we sit down and.
Okay. As much as I love doing this show virtually, I do a lot of live in-person interviews as well because it's just something different when it's live in person. As much as virtual is great, it's a different feel with people when you're doing it in person.
Yeah, agreed, 100% agreed. And there's so many other conversations that arise from it. So yeah.
Before we wrap this show up in about a minute, if there's one country you like to travel right now, which country would you choose? And do you have a question for the host CDP?
For your host, for you. Okay. If I had a country that I could travel to right now, that's a good question. I think I want to go to England. I would love to go to England. One, because they speak English. Also, because I have a really good English accent that I've been really trying to work out and see if they really would fall for it. I'm not really sure, so we'll see about that. So that I really want to go there, and I want to do comedy in like my British accent. I would like, that's like, love it. I would love that. I would love that so much. So definitely England. That's like, I'm on my list. Like I gotta definitely go there and do some comedy. I at this point I try to do comedy every time I go away. So you never know. And do I have any questions for you?
Yeah, do you have one? Ask the host a question.
Ask a host a question. Well, what got you into even doing radio?
Volunteer work. I did some volunteer work with the basketball team. They needed a camera operator. Never done it in my life. I was nervous. After the game, they liked my work. They paid me for it. And then the camera work led to me doing my podcast show, which led to me getting into radio. So being at the right place at the right time and doing volunteer work 6 years ago changed it.
Oh, see? That's what I'm saying. Opportunities. Never say no to opportunity. Even the craziest opportunities come back to you and be the best. The opportunities that you're like, oh God, I don't want to go. Oh, it's not going to mean anything. Those are usually end up being the best. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Mezzy, where can my audience follow you again on social media, your website, and the best way of contacting you for your merchandise? And if you'd like to plug any of your upcoming live shows in New York, you could do that too as well.
Oh man, I should have sent a flyer. God, I didn't even send a flyer for my next show. But I have So my on Instagram and TikTok is MEZZY_D, Mezzy D. Facebook is more formal because my family has to follow me. My family calls me Sarah. That's another fun fact about me. My full name is Metzline Sarah Desravines. My family calls me Sarah. But everyone outside the world calls me Mezzy. So that's why I have Mezzy Sarah, so my family can find me on Facebook. That's literally the only reason Sarah is there. Nobody would even know my middle name is Sarah because I'm like, my family now is the only one. I tried when I was in high school for people to start calling me Sarah so they didn't call me Mezzy. And I was called a racist because they're like, are you only making the white kids call you Sarah? I was like, what? It just so happens that I've known the black kids my whole life. What do you want from me? Anyway, so yeah, Mezzy Sarah. My website is MEZZYAMENTAL, mezinyamental.com. And you can actually order the t-shirts right from there. I ship it directly to your house, probably in a week, less than that. Yeah, I think and the best way to contact me, I would say, is probably DM me on Instagram. You can message me on Facebook. TikTok, I wouldn't even advise because it's like I wouldn't even advise because I'm like trying to be a TikToker on top of trying to balance that people keep messaging me on TikTok and I'm like, why are you messaging me? I need to like focus on content. I can't take it. I'm drowning. Oh God. So I would say definitely first would be my Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. So you could always contact me on Instagram. And Facebook. Those are the best two places to message me. I think, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully one day you'll be able to come over to Canada to do comedy because we have a lot of great comedy clubs and especially in the Toronto area. So hopefully one day I'll be able to see you perform over here in Ontario as well.
I will say you will. Because I have to speak things into existence. So yes.
Fingers crossed. Definitely. And I want to say continued success with your comedy career. And I want to say thank you for giving us over an hour of your time. And you have an open invite to come back on my show again. I have two other shows. I have one show with a co-host half my age, and we work well together. And then I have another show where the co-host, her name's Marlene Sharp. She's out of LA. She's in the cartoon animation industry out in LA, and we work well together as well. So I've just been very lucky the last 5 years, and it's the guests that make the show. I'm just the co-host, and I just want to say thank you so much. And you have an open invite to come back on any of my shows in the future.
Absolutely, yeah. When I have some more things on the horizon, I will definitely come back. It's always great chatting with you.
And if you give me a little bit of time tonight, I will send you the video, the audio, and I will tag you in on IG with some reels and clips. You know, our attention spans nowadays are kind of getting smaller and smaller. So
Right.
I break the video into 30, 40-second clips. So I will do that tonight too and tag you on IG as well.
I love it. Great.
Thank you so much, Mezzy D, and continued success. And we'll talk to you soon on social media.
All right. Have a great day. A great day.
too.
A good night. Unless it's daytime over there. I'm not sure. Okay.
You too.
Okay.
No, it's 8:15 here.
Oh, okay, good. Same time.
You
Okay.
too. Thank you so much, Mezzy. All right, guys, that concludes season 11, episode 3, overall 553 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Check out barrycullen.com. Speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet right now, check out a 2025 Corvette. I speak too fast sometimes. Speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet, check out a 2025 Corvette Stingray and the Corvette E-Ray. You can finance for up to 0%, 0% for up to 60 months. More details at barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Conditions apply, view offer details, and Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership is the official sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, and they do have a Corvette Stingray inside the dealership right now. It's a royal blue, and if I'm lucky enough to win the lottery this week, I think I will buy it. They're awesome looking vehicles, and Barry Cullen Chevrolet has great customer service there as well. So please consider checking out barrycullen.com or dropping by the ship if you're looking for a new or a pre-owned vehicle. And they do have a great selection of all electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles there as well. As we wrap up this show, guys, again, I want to say thank you to my guest, Mezzy D, a stand-up comedian out of New York City, for coming on here tonight. Make sure you follow her on her YouTube channel, Instagram, Linktree, and her website is mezinyamental.com. If you're looking to adopt a pet and you're in the Cambridge area, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website at cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals that are up for adoption, their profiles are on their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org. And if you're looking to volunteer at the Cambridge District Humane Society as a dog walker like I do twice a week, go to the website, go to the volunteer application form, and start the process today. And they do a really great job down there as well. And the Cambridge District Humane Society, if you're able to donate pet food, every Wednesday at the Cambridge District Humane Society, they have a pet emergency fund for those people who are struggling financially with the cost of pet food. If you're able to donate dog food, cat food, they're located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. And the shelter is also looking for bedding, cat litter, cat treats, dog treats, cash donations, whatever you can help out with. They do greatly appreciate it. And if you're in the Cambridge, Kitchener-Waterloo, Guelph area, the Cambridge and District Community Society is just located right across from the Cambridge Center Mall at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge. And as we wrap up this show, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show again is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And please make sure you follow me there as well. My website, if you'd like to check out my website and my media work, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. I am also a content creator. Yes, I am a content creator. You can follow me on TikTok at Chris Palme, and you can check out my latest content there on TikTok and my Argos coverage. I post a lot of my Argos coverage on my TikTok page again at Chris Palme. And I want to say thank you to my 800 plus followers on there. And I posted one video last week from the Argos Saskatchewan game that had over 61,600 views on TikTok. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars or live streaming, StreamYard.com and contact the sales department for pricing. I've been with StreamYard now for over 4 years, and I give them a big thumbs up. Speaking of thumbs up, if you like fresh, authentic Mexican food, check out Guac Mexi Grill. That's Guac Mexi Grill, located at 1005 Paisley Road in Guelph. Their website is guacmexigrill.ca. They have the best burritos, quesadillas, and the best guacamole I've ever had in my life. So that's Guac Mexi Grill, 1005 Paisley Road here in Guelph. A big shout out to them as well. And I want to give another shout out. I forgot to do my last show to my friend and the dance coordinator, Latoya, who is the dance coordinator for the Argos A-Team dance squad. They do a great job as the dance squad for the Toronto Argonauts at their home games at BMO Field. So a big shout out to Latoya and the Argos A-Team dance squad for the work they do. And they're great with the fans, and they do a great job entertaining the fans at the Argos home games at BMO Field. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the audio versions on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. Please make sure you follow and subscribe to the audio version of this show as well. Finally, guys, you can email the show live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you'd like to tip the host or buy the host a coffee, or you like this media show and my media work and you'd like to support it, I am on PayPal. If you'd like to tip me or buy me a coffee, I am on PayPal, cpame19@gmail.com. And also, I am also on Cameo. If you'd like a personalized video message from me, happy birthday wishes, happy anniversary, pep talk, just want to talk sports or my media work with me, go to cameo.com and type in Chris Pame and book your Cameo today as well. Finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chris Pame Live with CDP Talk Show. I'm on LinkedIn, Threads, and Blue Sky Social at Chris Pame. I'm on Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP 19 on Blue Sky Social. The rest of the social media platforms, just type in Chris Pame as well. And that is about it, guys. Again, thank you to Mezzy D for coming on here today. And my next Argo Bounce podcast show, season 4, episode 3 with Nick Small, is going to be tomorrow night, Thursday, June 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Nick Small and myself will break down the Argos' heartbreaking, devastating 39-32 loss to the Saskatchewan Roughriders on a last-second 99-yard kickoff return by Saskatchewan's Mario Alford. And we're going to preview, Nick and I are going to preview the Argos' upcoming game on my birthday, Sunday, June 29th at 7 o'clock, as the Argos 0-3 take on the 1-2 Ottawa Redblacks. And Nick and I will talk a little news around the CFL as well. So if you're a fan of the Toronto Argonauts, fan of the CFL, check out the Argo Bounce podcast show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, and on all major audio platforms as well. And the next live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show will be on Monday, June 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern with my special guest, Deborah Polardi, if I have that right. She is a stand-up comedian and author out of Rhode Island. So I'm looking forward to speaking to Deborah Polardi this Monday, June 30th at 6 p.m. about her comedy career and about her latest book and being a freelance writer as well. And I am also working on more guests for next week as well, which will be Canada Day, which will be on Tuesday, July 1st this year as well. That is about it for tonight, guys. We got Major League Baseball action tonight. We've got the Oakland A's taking on the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 at Comerica Park. The Tigers have the best record in baseball at 50-30, and coming off a big win, 11-4 over Oakland yesterday. And then the Toronto Blue Jays take on the Guardians tonight at 6:40 in Cleveland. Blue Jays are coming off, I believe, a 10-6 win over Cleveland last night as well. And that is about it. Again, thank you to Mezzy D for coming on here today. And please remember to follow Mezzy D on Facebook, Instagram, and her YouTube channel, and mezzynyamental.com website. And thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet for sponsoring this show, and to everyone watching this live stream and on my audio platforms. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for episode 3 of the Argo Bells podcast show with Nick Small and Chris Pame. As always, go Argos, and have a good night, everybody. And thanks again for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph.